Being a Longhorn is opportunity, pride, achievement, community, safety. Being a Longhorn is a choice to become a hero, to lead, to thrive in any setting. Being a Longhorn means immersing yourself in fine arts, learning at your own pace in Montessori, starting your path to college in elementary, earning a college degree in high school. The pride of being a Longhorn lives on long after graduation. Educate, empower, inspire. Down. Keep it down.
Good evening, everyone. Longhorn families, thank you so very much for joining us this evening for our Digital Parent University on Longhorn Essentials. Everyone should know what the Longhorn Essentials are, and we're going to talk about them this evening. And we're also going to talk a little bit about behavior, the student code of conduct. We're going to talk about bullying and some other things, and we'll take some of your questions as well. My name is Alicia Davis, the Director of Family and Community Engagement for Cedar Hill ISD. And again, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Now, please take a moment to, if you've gotten the email, you should have gotten an email, I believe, today at 12 o'clock regarding the school choice, your voice thought exchange. We really want your feedback on what ideas you would like to see for the future of Cedar Hill ISD as it relates to our school choice offerings. Please make sure you are completing that thought exchange. And this is for the campuses that don't currently have a school choice program associated with them. So definitely take a look at your email, look at that newsletter. And then we had this virtual meeting about this school choice, your voice, on Tuesday, and that's embedded in the newsletter. So we just want to make sure you're getting all the information so that you can make some decisions on what you want to see for the future of our district. Okay. Also, some upcoming events. Monday is when our board members will meet. The meeting was supposed to occur this past Monday, but because of the weather, it needed to be rescheduled. So it's actually going to be at 5 o'clock on Monday here at the Government Center. Also, the same day, they're going to do a trustee connections during the joint city and ISD meeting. On April the 2nd from 9 to 11, Cedar Hill ISD is going to have a job fair at the Maddox Teaching and Learning Center. So if you are interested in employment within the district, we would love to have you here. You will be an essential Longhorn, just like all of us are. And so you can come and get some information about the district and spread the word about it as well. On the 9th, there are two things going on. April the 9th, we have our pre-K and kindergarten roundup. It's going to be at all of our elementary campuses. So you can go to any of the campuses you might be interested in when it comes to your pre-K scholar or your kindergarten scholar. And you can see what a day in the life will look like for your littlest Longhorns. And then also that same day, Resource One Credit Union is actually having something called a Shred Fest. So if you are interested, if you have a lot of documentation that you need to get rid of, take it to Resource One Credit Union on the 9th between 10 and noon, and you can just shred it. They'll shred it for you. So those are some things that are coming up within our district. All right, and tonight I'm going to welcome our presenters and panelists. We have Mr. Tellens Graham. He is the Assistant Superintendent of Student Services and Administration. We have Dr. Courtney Jackson. She's the Executive Director of Counseling Services. We also have Dr. Norbert Whitaker. He is the Executive Director of Student Services. We have Dr. Ricky Henderson. He is our Behavioral Specialist for the district. We will have Miss Denisha Williams. She is the President of our Council of PTAs. She is on her way. And we will see her shortly. And then we also have a special guest. We have Miss Patricia Hudson. She is the Managing Director of TK Enterprises. And she, along with Miss Williams, they are going to talk to us this evening about bullying. All right. Now we are going to go ahead. I'm going to pass it on to Mr. Graham, and he's going to talk to us about the 10 Longhorn Essentials. All right.
Greetings, Longhorns. I'm excited to talk about the Longhorn Essentials. Longhorn Essentials were adopted in Cedar Hill in 2018. The Longhorn Essentials are a specific set of expectations that we want to see our scholars use daily. They're not just rules. These are skills that students are expected to use to navigate through life. Rules simply coerce students to behave. Yet the Longhorn Essentials attempt to prepare students to handle any situation they encounter with confidence. For example, rule number one, or Longhorn Essential number one, is respond to adults appropriately. These are things that anytime a student comes into contact with an adult, whether it's a teacher, any other staff member, a custodian, or the superintendent, they always know how to respond in the appropriate manner. Rule number three, respect others' comments, opinions, and ideas. That's a very important essential as we move through life. You will meet various people that don't have the same views on life as you. They don't agree with you, but you must still respect them and their comments and respond to them appropriately. As you can see, these are all essential life skills that we want to teach our students, and we put it in a fun and easy way to learn. We use these at the beginning of the year as all teachers are giving these to our students to ensure that as we go throughout the year, students understand them and know how to use them, whether they're in class or out. This is something that we're going to continue to push our students, and we will update them this year as we get ready for next year. But we feel that this is a vital part of our school district as we want something that's easy for students to learn and that's vital for their success. So again, these are our Longhorn Essential 10. Go Longhorns.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Graham. And now we have Dr. Whitaker. He's going to talk to us about the Student Code of Conduct.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. So we are going to briefly discuss the Student Code of Conduct. With any district within the state of Texas and abroad, there has to be a Student Code of Conduct. And these are pretty much rules that students had to adhere to. Now, the purpose of the Student Code of Conduct is that's the district's response to require the requirements of Chapter 37 in the Texas Education Code, which provides parents and students, regarding standards of conduct and procedures for administering discipline. Now, we are a district that we like to provide intervention, and we believe in implementing these interventions over just being punitive, trying to address the whole child holistically. So inside of here, there are interventions in which we provide methods and options for managing students in the classroom and on school grounds, as well as disciplining students and preventing and intervening in student discipline problems. This is available on the district's website. If you go up under families, and you will see the Student Code of Conduct. I encourage all parents and community individuals to familiarize themselves with the Student Code of Conduct. We revisit these annually. We could take a look at it's reviewed annually by a committee of district personnel, and it models the Student Code of Conduct put forth by the Texas Association of School Boards, TASB. That version, they usually update every 2 years during a legislative legislative session to stay abreast of anything that's new. That's the reason why they put it out every 2 years. So as a district, we take a look at what TASB puts out, and then we take a look at ours, and then we mesh the two together and see if we need to update ours annually. But once again, this is available on the website. It's updated prior to the school year beginning. So I would like for everyone to go out there on chisd.net, click on families, and you will see the Student Code of Conduct. Okay, I would like to thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Whitaker. All right, and I did put the link to the Student Code of Conduct in the chat, as well as the link to the thought exchange for the school choice, your voice link. I want to make sure you guys are able to click on these things so you can review them, and then also so you can give us your feedback on the choice programs. I will say that thought exchange closes on Tuesday, I believe, on March the 29th. Yes. All right, so next we have Dr. Courtney Jackson. She is our Executive Director of Counseling Services, and she's going to talk about counseling services, social and emotional learning, as well as CIS, which is communities in schools. She's just going to briefly talk to you about those types of supports.
Thank you so much, Ms. Davis, and good evening, parents and scholars of Cedar Hill. So the first component I would like to discuss with you briefly is an overview of our counseling services in the district. Our counselors, we have a counselor at every campus. Our secondary counselors, campuses have multiple counselors. Their program is outlined in 4 different components. And our program is designed to meet our scholars in 3 different learning domains. The first, of course, being academic. The second is the college and career aspect of their learning. And then the third is the social, emotional, and behavior aspect of counseling services. And in that, we offer 4 different components. The first one being our core guidance instruction. So there are 7 lessons that every scholar in the district will receive annually. Some of them are state mandated, and some of them are uniquely designed to meet the needs of our scholars in the district. Some of them include, of course, college career readiness, anti-victimization and anti-harassment. We do offer a lesson on anti-harassment through web violence. We also offer suicide prevention, which is now one of the ones mandated by the state. And we also offer health services. So any of those learning domains are covered under our guidance instruction. And our counselors also screen their scholars every year. They begin the year with a needs assessment, and what they identify as the primary needs on their campus for their scholars, they do intervene by using additional guidance lesson curriculum. So the second area in which our counselors meet the needs of our scholars is through responsive services. And responsive services is what you know as traditional counseling. So in that component, our counselors offer individual and small group counseling sessions to our students who have identified needs. So if you ever need to see a counselor, please reach out. We have a referral form so that parents can refer their scholars for those individual services. Also under that component is our crisis intervention. We support our campuses through crisis supports when a kid is in crisis, and also when our families are in crisis. And we also offer outside resources to all of our partners in counseling that are outside agencies that provide. Some of them now are free to our scholars as well as to our families. So if you ever need responsive services for your scholars, feel free to reach out to your campus counselor. The third domain in which we support our scholars is through individual student planning. And that is the goal setting piece. That is the academic planning piece. That's when our students are selecting courses for the following year, which we're in that season right now. Our students just finished selecting courses. It's the transition planning, it's the CCMR, it's the post-graduation piece. So all things academic fall in this component of what we do with our scholars. And then the last component is the indirect student services. It's what we do on behalf of the students. So our consultation with you when we're creating plans for success for your scholars, that falls in the indirect student services, as well as when we're consulting with the teachers or anybody else on behalf of the students to ensure that we are serving them and their needs. Now, what is SEL? You may have heard SEL. We do have an SEL specialist in our district who was not able to be with us tonight. Her name is LaShonda Henderson. And what she does through SEL, she does PD for all of our teachers, and she goes and she supports our campuses as our teachers are implementing SEL strategies in the classroom. SEL stands for social and emotional learning, and it's just a process through which all of the young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage their emotions, and achieve their personal goals. So we want to ensure that every one of our students have access to social emotional learning curriculum, not just through those guidance lessons that I talked about with our counselors, but integrated into their daily interactions and instructions. What are our SEL services in the district? Our teachers are very intentional about integrating a designated time in which they are implementing some of the curriculum that we offer for SEL, as well as integrating it and embedding it in their core content and curriculum. So our teachers are trained we will do continuous training to ensure our teachers are ready to meet the needs of our scholars for their social and emotional well-being. Our district platform is Panorama. Panorama is a platform that is a district platform that provides teachers and staff with a playbook of hundreds of lessons, strategies, and activities to support the needs of our students. So if at any time a teacher has informally assessed the needs of her class in any of the personal management, interpersonal skills, he or she is able to go to our playbook through Panorama and pull strategies, lessons, curriculum to implement in the classroom to assist our kids in those areas. Panorama, what else does it do? It builds our students' competencies in the SEL competency areas, which are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationships, and decision-making. It also creates an environment where our students thrive. Educators and administrators use Panorama to build positive, equitable, and supportive environments and student learning. So it's all about creating those impactful relationships that ultimately lead to our students' success. Develops teacher and staff SEL and well-being, and teachers and staff play a significant role in helping our scholars develop those strong social emotional skills, which is critical now because we are in a post-pandemic year where a lot of our kids were not learning in a interpersonal environment last year, and as they're transitioning back to what is more of a traditional learning environment, some of them need additional assistance in working with others, cooperative learning. And so this social emotional learning curriculum really supports our scholars in their growth in that area. What can you do at home to further support our efforts with SEL? As a parent, please continue to be a good listener to your scholar. When our kids go home, they have a lot to share with us. Plan some time where you can just sit down and listen to them talk about their day. If at any time you have some concerns about what you're hearing or you feel like you need some additional resources or support, your campus counselors are available to support you with that. Model the behavior that you're seeking to see. So as we're talking about interpersonal skills and managing behaviors, be sure that you're modeling that for your scholars. We work really diligently to model it for them on campus, but we want that to transition with them as they return home. And just continue to nurture your child's self-esteem. That's very critical that they have a positive self-identity. Respect their differences. Our children are very different now, and some of them don't have the same ideals that we have, and we just need to listen and respect them as who they are as individuals. Take advantage of support services. Again, I cannot continue to tell you that we are available to support you. We have so many community resources that have partnered with our district this year to support the needs of not only our students and families, but also our staff. So if you need to have access to that, please reach out to me or your campus counselor. And just always remain involved, not just with your scholar, but with what's going on the campus. We need you to partner with us to ensure your students are successful. So please just be present. And we appreciate that. And then here are some additional resources. And I think Ms. Davis says she's going to put the link in the chat so that you can click on it and have access to it. But we have some additional social emotional learning resources for you. Okay, and this year we have partnered with another outside agency known as Communities in Schools. Communities in Schools, every one of our campuses was granted a Communities in Schools site coordinator. And the role of that person is to provide not only student support, but also support to the people who support others. So that's you, the family, community members, and they work to make sure that our at-risk scholars have exactly what they need in order to go back into the classroom and be successful. So that means supporting the families, supporting their food needs, their financial needs, making sure they have access to outside resources. So if you have not connected with your Communities in School site coordinator and have some needs that you think they could support, please reach out to that person on your campus. Your campus counselor can also help you identify who that person is and connect you to those services. They offer educational enhancement, and they also offer health and human services. They partner with a lot of outside agencies that we don't have access to through the district, so you want to connect with them if you have any of these additional needs. Some other things that they offer is They work with students who have been identified as high needs or at risk. And there are some multiple indicators that would designate your kid is at risk. They work specifically with the kid on campus. And then as they're identifying additional needs, they will reach out to you as a parent to figure out different ways they can continue to support you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Jackson. Now we have Dr. Ricky Henderson, our district behavioral specialist, who is going to talk to you a little bit about the way that you can support your scholars when it comes to their behavior.
Good evening, scholars and parents of Longhorns. I am Dr. Henderson, behavior specialist. I would definitely want to spend some time with you all today and talk to you all about behavioral support and some of the things I do in the district in providing support for our students and our families. One of the things I do is provide support in regards to students, individual support, also support when it relates to group, work with students in groups, and also provide family support, social and emotional support and behavioral needs of those families. Not only I provide support with students, I act as a liaison as well between families and agencies, providing students and the families with resources and providing them with the resources that they need to be effective, not only in school, but there are additional things that are needed outside of school as well in working with the families and students. One of the things we've been focusing in on this past school year is coordinating and providing behavioral training support for our staff in the district. Not only training support for our staff, but also administrators, making certain that we are modeling the behavior as well on the campuses, and to ensure that our teachers are, when it comes to classroom management, teachers are actually providing the classroom management tools that are needed in working with our students. One thing that we're making a conscious effort of as well in moving forward in upcoming school year is providing training for our parents, in the district, not just with the students. Of course, our parents need the support as well. So something similar to what we're doing now today, the challenges that our students are receiving or having at home or at school, we want to make sure our parents are equipped as well in helping those students and their children. Collaborating with assistant principals, those administrators on campuses, assisting and working with administrators on campuses is one of the focus areas that I have as well, and making certain that I collaborate and provide not just staff and parents, but I want to make certain that the administrators on campuses have the support that they need in working with the families as well and the children, students. So parent conferences, when appropriate, those are some of the things that I do also. And moving forward, as far as behavior support, when it comes to my referral process, there's a referral form, a request form that is filled out by the assistant principal. There's a pre-referral intervention and restorative management of techniques that is required first before the students are referred to me. So when students are referred, there's some things that has to be taken care of prior to. And once the student is referred to me, of course, we want to make certain that the parent and the guardian are receiving the information as well and have the notification that I will be working with the students. So in regards to the students that are referred, those students who have persistent misconduct, we're looking at 8 to 10 referrals, of course, not limited to 2 or less, maybe it could be less than 8 or more than 10 referrals. But once students are referred to me, not only I work with students on the campuses, one thing I make a point to do as well is work with students in the ISS classrooms, those students who are in the in-school suspension, and as well as students who are at Strive, DAEP. So once the referrals are made, I will schedule an appointment with the scholars, and usually we're looking at 6 to 8 weeks. Of course, that could go more than 8 or less than 6. Of course, and also is usually case by case. And move forward, positive behavior supporting strategies to support families at home. Some of the things I want to point out, I have 5 strategies that I want to point out today. Of course, there's a reference I want to provide you all with resources as well. Think about your child's strengths and weaknesses, or better yet, think about your child's strengths and interests, focusing more on their strengths and interests opposed to their weaknesses. Think about the things your child loves to do and how to incorporate those things into your time together. Something that I really love is the 5 to 1 positives. For every 1 negative, create 5 positives. Positive and reinforce steps in the right direction. Give attention to the behavior you want to see opposed to the behavior you do not want to see. So pay more attention to those behaviors you would like to see your child opposed to the behaviors you don't want to see. Also, create routines for your family and child. Children do best when they have predictable routines and know what is going to happen throughout the day. Providing a schedule for your child throughout the day will actually help them in their routines, not only at home, but at school as well. It will get them familiar and used to a structured environment at home and at school. Last 2, as I continue, look behind the behavior to what your child is telling you. So, of course, you may have a student or a child that's misbehaving. Oftentimes, it's best to look behind the behavior. There's usually something going on underneath. It is our job to try to understand what lies beneath the behavior and what he or she is trying to tell us. Oftentimes, we look above the surface, but if we look beneath the surface, we'll find out that there are some underlying factors, some underlying variables that our children, our students are dealing with, which is causing that particular behavior. Set up for success with positive language of the behavior you want to see. Speaking positive language, communicating in an effective way at home also works. Communicate clearly what behavior you want to see or what behavior you want your child to demonstrate. Communication is very, very important as it relates to our students and our children today, due to, of course, social media and some of the things they have to deal with. There has been a loss in communication. So making clear expectations at home will actually help aid and work with our scholars and your children as well. There's a resource I believe Ms. Davis is going to provide for you all in the chat. Resource that's very good is the strategies of behaviors you all can work with your children at home with. The resource is apbs.org. Please take time out to go to that resource, and I can pretty much guarantee to really help you out. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Henderson. And yes, I did put that link in the chat. So now we are going to have a bullying presentation. Now we have 2 guests who are going to talk to us a little bit about this. We have Ms. Denisha Williams. Again, she is the Council of PTA's president. But first up, we have Ms. Patricia Hudson, and she is going to kind of get us started and get us acclimated to what she is going to bring to us tonight. All right. Thank you, Ms. Hudson, for being here. We appreciate you, and take it away.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Miss Davis, rather. Greetings, Longhorn parents. I am very excited to be here with you. Thank you for your willingness to partner with CHISD to prevent bullying. Bullying is a very serious issue across our nation. According to the National Center for Educational Statistics, 1 of 5 students between the ages of 12 to 18 report that they have been bullied. Bullying impacts everyone, not only the victims, but the bullies themselves and all those that witness. I'm going to share some need-to-know information with you concerning bullying. In addition, I'm going to highlight 5 ways you can help not only prevent bullying, but to strengthen your parenting skills for best results for your child. So let's talk about bullying. What is it? So hostile and unwanted aggressive behavior that is repetitive, intentional, misuse of power to intimidate, control, or cause harm. So we're going to look at 5 ways that you can prevent this from happening with your child. So if you will be intentional and embrace these 5 ways, we are sure that we can prevent bullying. Inform yourself. Thank you for being here to learn more about bullying. Continue to inform yourselves. There are all kinds of websites that are very detailed to help you understand bullying, how to inspire your child, to build their resilience and their coping skills, to help them build interpersonal skills, to how to even talk and have the discussions with your child, even when they don't want to talk about it. How to identify signs of bullying and how to intervene if bullying occurs. So if you'll be intentional to inform yourself, inspire your child, initiate discussions daily, identify signs, and to intervene, we're excited about the results that will occur. So again, bullying, let's get it in our head what it is. It's hostile and unwanted aggressive behavior that is repetitive. Yeah, it could happen sometimes just one time, because hopefully we'll catch that and we'll prepare our child to prevent that from occurring. But most times bullying is repetitive. And so let's talk about the intentional misuse of power. So the bully wants to intimidate our children, wants to control them and to harm their reputation, to harm them physically and socially and verbally and cyberly. What bullying is not? According to compassionate.com, there are 6 behaviors that are not considered bullying if they are not, again, repeated and deliberate. That would be someone excludes your child from a social activity. That's not bullying. Someone that dislikes your child. That's not bullying. Accidental harm. Someone shoved into your child, or someone accidentally had their foot stuck out in the hallway and your child fell. That's not bullying. Someone just being aggressive and bossy. That's not bullying. Telling a joke about your child in the auditorium during an assembly and everybody's laughing, and it made your child feel some kind of way, but that's not bullying. Usually that's a one occurrence, or if it was really in fun and everybody's laughing, including your child, that's not bullying. Arguments. Our children, our young people, they're going to have arguments. They're going to have conflicts. Again, if it's not hostile and aggressive and it's not intentionally causing harm, intimidation, or control, it is not bullying. So let's talk about the types of bullying. So verbal bullying, someone says very mean things to your child, teases your child, makes insults publicly, makes inappropriate sexual comments, threatens to do harm to your child, constantly taunting your child. That would be bullying. Again, when it's hostile and repetitive, intentional. The next type, physical. So the bully makes an aggressive attack, hitting, kicking, pinching, spitting, tripping, pushing, taking or breaking your child's things, making rude hand gestures, all kinds of hand signs. So to do physical harm to your child. Let's look at social. The bully wants everyone against your child, right? And so to leave your child out on purpose for the sake of slandering their reputation, their social life, telling others not to be friends with them, spreading nasty rumors, spreading lies, embarrassing them in public. And then let's look at the last one, cyber. So this one is the one that, so the first three, verbal, physical, and social, usually happens in the school environment or during after school extracurricular activities. Cyber is so dangerous because it's 24/7. So usually we cannot pick up on these activities without having some type of interaction with our child to know what they're being exposed to. And so it really takes the engagement of the parent. So cyber, what is it? Using digital devices, computers, cell phone, iPads, anything over the internet to send, post, or share negative, harmful, false content about someone, sending pictures. There's sexting, where someone gets a picture. Maybe your child may share a picture, and then someone takes that picture and spreads it all throughout the cyber or the internet. And so, again, 4 types of bullying. So this is occurring a lot, and it is a problem, but we are being proactive, and we thank you for embracing what you can do. So inspire your child. Let's talk about this. So there's different parenting styles. The highest form and most recommended is the authoritative parenting style.
I can hear her, but I do not. Can anyone hear her? She's frozen, correct? Okay, she's back.
Okay, sorry about that. So inspire your child. So the authoritative parenting style is the style that we encourage because it offers a high degree of warmth, love, and closeness, while at the same time you set clear limits for your child and you have expectations for them, but you also make sure that you provide the support they need to meet these expectations and to do really well. So initiate two-way communication with your child daily. Have conversations if you're dropping them off at school or in the morning at the house before everyone leaves. Really, 5 to 10 minutes can really tell you a lot about what's going on in your student's life. And so in the evening, if you're sitting around the dinner table, if not, hey, make a visit to their room or say, hey, come to my room and let's kick back and how was your day? And just begin to have the conversations of touching base, and just asking questions can really lead to a lot. So I want to emphasize two-way communication because it's important that we not just talk to our scholars, but that we listen, because a lot of times they will, once you ask a couple questions, that will unleash a lot of things. And so if we listen with no judgment, listen and let them get it all out, and then we can engage further. So nurture that positive climate that at your home, within your family unit. Be that role model. Show them how two-way communication works. Show them by role modeling kindness with those that you interact with within your family setting. Have kindness and positive behavior, and make sure we role model this, because what happens at home is usually repeated outside the home. And we found studies that a lot of bullies are in an environment that is very hostile. And so they end up going and repeating that hostile, those characteristics, and becoming the bully in public. And so we want to be careful to make sure, because it's not what we say. A lot of times our children learn by what they see of what we do. And so teach emotional and interpersonal skills. The best way to do that, again, is to role model. Teach your child how to cope, how to be resilient. there are so many resources within the school district. We have counselors, the teachers can help. We have Miss Davis who can, we have these workshops. There's so many community resources, faith-based businesses. And if you will I encourage you, if you will tap in, you will learn so much, and your family and your scholar will advance in these emotional and interpersonal skills. So emotions, if a bully is picking on your child, inspire them to look at that bully in the eye and show confidence, and don't fall apart crying, but to show that strong stance that I'm confident in who I am. And that can make a really big difference, because bullies usually pick on people that they think are weak, or they think are different, or they think they lack self-esteem. If your child seems like they don't have confidence, then the bully targets them. Also encourage your child to have supportive friendships. The more that we can add to our community, the better it is. So get them involved, encourage them to participate in extracurricular activities where they build friendships. They'll do things that they really enjoy to do, and then they'll meet people that share those same activities. And so then they've built a network, and so they're not a loner. They're not at school walking the halls by themselves or isolated. And so bullies like to pick on people who are isolated. Inspire your child to operate with confidence. That really starts at home. Allow your child, as an authoritative parent, allow your child to share their opinions respectfully, to talk to you, and instead of giving them all the answers, coach them through, guide them through how to interact and how to be their best self. And let your child know that you are there. You are always there to intervene. You're going to support them no matter what. They don't deserve to be bullied. No one deserves to be bullied. Encourage them to even advocate for others instead of being a bystander, be an upstander. So let's look at talking to your child about bullying. Ask your child to tell you what they know about bullying. Start right there. Once they tell you, you'll be surprised. Our children, our scholars, they are well equipped in a lot of areas. And so they may just surprise you, but go ahead and allow them to tell you what they know. You share what you know, fill in the gaps. Assure them that you're going to be that advocate for them between the school, the community, and their friendships, and the bully. You're going to make sure they're going to be okay. Ask your child if they've been bullied before. Ask them if they have been the bully, and then walk them through that appropriately. Ask your child how they and their peers respond. Again, like I said, are they responding as a bystander or upstander? Advise your child to inform you if bullying occurs. You want to know, because you want to help, and not only advise them to tell you, but tell them to tell an adult immediately, a trusting adult. Also, spend time with your child, learning more. Get on the internet, Google, watch the videos, learn bullying strategies, participate in community activities. Okay, so let's talk about the signs of bullying, because this is very important. Your child may not tell you. They may be embarrassed. So we'll go through it real quickly. If you notice this at any age, because bullying does not start at age 12 to 18, it's more impactful, there's more of an impact for bullying, but it starts early. So signs are stolen, lost, or damaged possessions. Suddenly your child does not want to go to school. They come home really hungry. Somebody's taking their lunch, has nightmares, trouble sleeping, or younger children, they start bedwetting. Personality changes, change in their appearance, headaches or stomach aches, change in their online behavior. They used to be online texting and doing all these things. Now they're not gaming anymore. Why? Begins begins bullying behavior with sibling or friends. You notice that their attitude, they're getting mean, they're bullying. Physical signs like cuts, bruises, scrapes, etc. So how do you intervene if you see these things? Stay calm. It's very easy as parents for us to be really sensitive and lose our cool, and that does not help us at all. So stay calm. Assure your child that you will advocate. Listen without judgment. Gather as much information as possible about the circumstance. Document everything because you're going to share this with the school. Discuss an action plan with your child on how to engage moving forward. Coach them through how to protect themselves to prevent it. Schedule a meeting with the adult that was in charge of that environment where the bullying occurred to report the incident or make sure your child reported and discuss what an action plan is. And in case of cyberbullying, take screenshots of everything. You want to document everything and help your child to block the offender and to report that within the media platform.
Thank you so much, Miss Hudson. This was excellent information. You got some comments in the comment section agreeing with some of the things that you were saying. So definitely thank you for your presentation. And now we're going to pass it along to Miss Williams, our Council of PTA's president. She's going to bring it on home when it comes to bullying. All right.
Good evening, families, our Longhorn families, and thank you, our panel guests, for your information. It's very informative, and I'm taking a lot away from it as well. But I want to do something a little different here. I know we just learned a lot about bullying from Ms. Hudson. One of the things that I am passionate about is teaching our students how to be advocates, but how can they be an advocate if they don't know what that looks like? So as PTA, of course, that's one of the things that we do. We advocate for our campuses, our families, and of course, our students. And so one of the things I want you to do in the chat, or you can put it in the chat, or you can just do the, if you're on Facebook, click on the little faces. But how many of you were bullied? If you were bullied, go ahead and put like the little sad face in the chat. If you weren't, don't worry about it. You can also, put the little care for those that, or put in the sad faces. And I'm going to raise my hand and let you know, like, yes, I was bullied. And then also, while I'm seeing all the sad faces, yeah, I've been there. And how many of you, if you were, be honest, we were the bully? I'm raising my hand here. Yes, Miss Williams was a bully. Yeah. So, you might be like, oh, how can the president be a bully? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Like I said, I recognize that bullying happens more often than we as adults think. That's why I'm passionate about this particular subject, especially as I am a parent now. Bullying for me started in the 6th grade. I actually was bullied from 6th to 8th grade. Well, I'll take that back, 6th to 9th grade. And for me, girls bully a little bit different than boys. And so I was on cheer. I was a cheerleader. And one of the things that my captain would do, she would pick at my weight. And that ended up for me turning into an eating disorder. And like Ms. Hudson said, if you're starting to see your child not eating, maybe it's not so much as someone taking their food, but watching for girls and also boys, it could be a part of an eating disorder. My mom didn't notice the signs. I didn't even stop even with my eating disorder problem until after I got into college. And that's how bad it was. Now, like I mentioned, I was also the bully. I didn't become a bully until I got into college. So the myth that bullying is just a childhood thing is not true. Bullying continues on. It usually starts at elementary, but it gets worse and worse as we progress in our, I guess you say, in education, and also as we progress as adults. And that's why I'm so passionate about talking about bully prevention. And that's what one of the things that I've noticed that our school officials on our campuses around ISD, sorry, and our leadership teams are doing things that they can to prevent bullying to protect our students, but they can't do it alone. Parents and our scholars also have to play a role in preventing bullying on our campuses. One of our mechanisms for our PTA is family engagement. And so one of the things that we wanted to do is focus on building a committee on our campuses so that we can continue this type of conversation on our campuses and make sure that bullying is no longer at least is not existing here in CHISD. Research has showed the benefits for our parents and youth engagement is that students started to feel safer and can focus on learning. Our parents start worrying less. Teachers and staff can focus on the actual classroom and their work. And schools can develop more responsive solutions because students are more likely to see or hear about bullying than adults. So they're more willing to have that conversation with the adults on the campus. And I know our administration and our principals play a powerful role in the bully prevention, but parents can also support with school messages about bullying at home as well. And like Ms. Hudson said, if you're taking that opportunity to have those conversations, we're also having that opportunity to put a stop to bullying. Even if the child is not bullying, at least they understand what it is and what it looks like. Now, how our parents and youth can contribute. Schools can set the stage for meaningful parent and youth involvement, but it doesn't happen overnight. Our students can contribute through their views and experience with bullying by taking on leadership roles on their campuses, like student governance, or also on a PTSA. So if your student is a member of PTSA, they can also be on the executive board, or they can also be a chair or co-chair on the committee. Parents can contribute to the positive school climate through joining PTA, volunteering, and being more informed on this about different programs, parent organizations. Not just with PTA, we have our booster clubs and also our All Pro Dads. And then school staff can also help us as well in building a more safe and productive environment. And that's one of the things that we have on our campuses. I don't know about any other district, but on our campuses, we have parent liaisons. And these liaisons are here to not only engage with us, the PTA, but also you as the families. And what they do is that they create different programs and events so that the parents can be more informed and more engaged on campuses. Now, our campus safety committees are basically what we said they are. They're going to be like small focus groups on our campuses, focused on one thing, and that is bully prevention. One of the things that our goal is as PTA is to make sure that our families are involved 100% of the time, and also our scholars. But also we want you to understand that our administrators have a lot of wealth of information that can actually help us and keep us involved more as long as they're involved into those committees, and also with PTA. They also play a role in that as well. Also, with having help from our teachers who are having what we call the strong classroom, where they are the ones that our students most likely look up to, they're more willing to have conversations with. Having those teachers involved is a big plus as well. And then including our school psychologists and counselors and nurses and all of those people that basically interact with our scholars is an awesome way of building not only our school culture, but also the community as well. And with our students, like I said, giving them that responsibility also is not just telling them to be, as they say, the snitch. We're not looking for that. We're looking to empower our students. So therefore, when they go onto college campuses or if they go into the workplace, they understand what bullying looks like, not on an elementary or middle school level, but as adults as well. And also, we want our community, our police officers, clergy members to get involved on our campuses as well. Because, like I said, bullying does not always happen technically on campuses. It can usually start off campus as well. So having someone in our communities who are involved and passionate about making sure our schools are safe also helps us as well in building this committee. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, this committee is to focus on our safety. And so one of the things that the committee will focus on is planning bully prevention and intervention programs, implementing a bully prevention effort, meaning having meetings with the community, with administrators, and also with our students. Develop and communicate and enforce bully prevention policies and rules, and educate our school community. Again, hosting programs, having forums just like this, to be able to ensure that our school is having the conversation. And also, one of the things that is also a valuable asset with this committee is being able to teach our children and our parents how to advocate for our schools and to make sure our schools are safe. And one of the things that we're doing now with our PTAs, we are asking parents now to get involved. Our PTAs are now getting ready for the 2022-2023 school year. And so we're focusing on rebuilding and restructuring so we can focus more on building a more and safe community for our students. Thank you. And again, my name is Denisha Williams. I am your PTA Council President.
Thank you so much, Ms. Williams. So parents, sometimes you get her newsletters usually they're sent on like Saturday mornings. I think the last one was sent on a Friday because it was right before spring break. So sometimes this is the person who is providing that information, and of course her board. All right, so there was only one thought that was submitted through Thought Exchange, and that thought was, it stated that we should take away eye contact. Not all students are able to make eye contact, and possibly facing the person and not have your back to them is showing respect, but forcing eye contact is not an inclusive statement. And I know Mr. Graham, you didn't even touch on number 2, because I think that was number 2, and perhaps you want to speak to that.
Thank you, Miss Alicia Davis. And thank you for that thought from whoever sent that to us. I do agree that eye contact is sometimes a cultural thing. There are certain cultures where people don't like to look other people in the face and make that eye contact. So we are going to reevaluate our Essential 10 in this next month with our Culture Committee to determine some changes that need to be made to our Essential 10, because we do want to be inclusive of all students and ensure that we're doing what's best for them and something they can be comfortable with going forward. So I do appreciate that thought, because that is something that we are definitely considering.
Thank you. Dr. Jackson, when you were speaking about the communities and schools, I don't know if this is a communities and schools person, but when you were speaking about them, this person said, or Collegiate Prep said they love Miss Davis at Prep. So I don't know if she's the communities and schools person or not. I don't know, but she might be. Okay. Also, I just want to say that someone said, say it ain't so, about me saying that I was a bully. I did not mean to raise my hand. No, I was not a bully. I was bullied. I was not a bully. So no, I did not mean to raise my hand then. And then also with you, Ms. Williams, you got kudos for sharing your story. I don't know, does anyone have any current questions that you want to ask to this wonderful panel of people that we have here tonight? Please, on YouTube and Facebook, you're still watching. I see you're still watching. So if you have any comments, questions, please ask away, because this is your time to do so. Because it is right about the time. It's 7 o'clock almost. Does anyone have any thing they want to share? Anything additional they want to share while people might be putting some questions in the chat? No? I think if there's no questions, I think this is the first time there's not been any questions. I mean, for real. I mean, I don't know what that's about. I see hearts, I see likes, I see cares, but no questions. I'm not mad about that. So you already know when I put this banner up, it's time to go. I still don't see any. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Oh, hey, Miss Parker. Thanks for the info. It's greatly needed for our community. Awesome. Oh, we thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being attentive this evening. Okay, so if nothing else, I will just say good night to everyone. Thank you, all parents, scholars, community, whoever is watching us. We greatly appreciate your time. We hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Okay. All right. It's a great day to be a Longhorn. Bye.